Alrighty. Low energy. Low energy. Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had Win Those Kids' Hearts, where Todoroki and Bakugo met up with Yawarishi and Kami, and they had special training with Gang Orca, basically to try to win over the hearts of the shitty elementary school kids. Also, really cool part of the episode was Endeavor asking All Might what it means to be the symbol of peace, and All Might having a bit difficulty explaining it, but basically boiling it down to, look, Endeavor, you and I are different people. You need to think about the kind of hero you want to be. It was all amazing. And then at the end, the trainees decided that they were going to have a fight with the kids, and then the kids were like, we're fucking better than you, even though we have no experience. So, yeah, the four of them are going to be facing the kids. Now, they do have to be careful, because if they just completely curb stomp them, then the kids are going to be demoralized, which honestly I don't see the problem in that, but whatever. But they can't let them win, because then their egos are just going to go through the fucking roof, if they haven't already. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't think our trainees are going to lose, because they are Katsuki, Bakugo, Shoto Todoroki, Inasa, Yawarishi, and also Kami. Don't really know what her quirk is, but whatever. But I guess it's not necessarily going to be easy. They can't just go and curb stomp them, you know? God, I wish they could, though. I wish they could just flat out curb stomp them. The reaction is in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and get right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. Was that filler? That's a genuine question. Is that in the manga? This weird, how Midoriya and Aoyama became friends? Because that was weird. I know technically, you guys told me that technically the episode where Sue is, she's at her internships with Selkie, and they, fight those villains. Technically, that is filler. That's not in the anime, but the anime just basically filled it in. They just did an episode about Sue at her internships. So, my question is, was the back half of this episode filler? Mainly just the stuff about Aoyama, because everything else is obviously necessary. The finishing out the story with the trainees and everything. And obviously, not only going to Night Eye's funeral, but also an update about Eri. That's all necessary. But everything with Aoyama felt like it was filler. Like that wasn't in the original manga. Could be. I'd be surprised, honestly. And I'll accept it if that is, but that was so random. So, there's a lot in that episode. Jesus Christ, there was a lot. Okay. Quirk Singularity Doomsday. Interesting theory that that one day quirks will become too powerful for anyone to control. Now here's the thing. The kids' quirks are very powerful. They all had to activate it though. Like when you talk about Quirk Singularity Doomsday, I would assume that's, like it's undeactivatable, which is not a word, but you know what I mean. Like it's a quirk that is literally impossible to control. They seem to have a decent handle on their quirks already. as basic as they are. But they even, like President Mike said, like, these kids should not be this strong, like they do have such raw power. Whereas at their age, President Mike said, I was just learning how to yell, Even Bakugo, and Bakugo had some power, but it didn't really, take off until later. Like, it still grew until he was able to make it to UA. And then it's gotten, somewhat better, I guess. But still, these kids are... It's the raw power of their quirks, which, honestly, kind of plays into Eri when you really stop and think about it. Her quirk is so goddamn powerful, but she can't control it whatsoever. Now, luckily, I'm going to assume that while she's in the hospital... it's a problem if her quirk is activated. But if it's not activated, there's no problem. So they just need to be careful that she doesn't accidentally activate it, I guess. But that's the thing, is that, this whole quirk singularity doomsday thing, I guess that is sort of shining through with these kids, with Eri. Perhaps that is where we're headed. Maybe, though I would imagine maybe in another 100 years or so. I don't know. So, yeah. But that was just an interesting little theory. And, yeah, it does show just the raw power those kids had, with their different powers. Even though, again, like I said, they weren't... The trainees, they weren't really affected by their attacks at all. They really didn't care, So I did like that. And I like... immediately, because obviously I'm sitting here come on, curb stomp them, which by the fifth time I said that, I thought I was going to put that in the thumbnail, curb stomp, but then they didn't curb stomp them, so it doesn't matter. Oh well. But I like how, they start using their quirks, we're the shit, and they start using their quirks and stuff. And immediately when they see that Bakugo and everyone else, they're not really fazed by it, immediately the kids start breaking a bit. No, they're not scared. What's going on? It's immediately they've already cracked. They've already lost. You're already done. It's over. We're done. Bye. We got Kami's quirk, Glamour, so she can create illusions, which is pretty cool. I like that. But did she say she's not allowed to use it at school? Oh. I'm sure this screenshot of fucking highly, the Glamour Todoroki, Illusion Todoroki, I'm sure people have screen capped that. Look at his eyes. They over beautify him, but crazy. I kind of want to see that with Yoarashi. We get that with Todoroki and Bakugo. I kind of want to see how you do Yoarashi like that.
It doesn't even allow us to go on dates. It's just the worst.
No dating at Shiketsu.
Her quirk, Glamour. She can create illusions for a short period of time. Abuse of this quirk is prohibited.
Alright, abuse of this quirk is prohibited.
You've got such a beautiful face, my dear.
Oh.
That killed me, Glamour-oki. Seriously, I might die.
I don't know. Was it really all that funny?
I like that Bakugo cracking his shit over Glamour-oki. I thought that was funny. So that's really funny that Bakugo finds that hilarious. But yeah, interesting. So abuse of her quirk is prohibited, but obviously she's allowed to use it. But yeah, it's also interesting how they say Shiketsu is very old-fashioned. They don't allow the students to go on dates, which is interesting because I just didn't know that was a thing until I read the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, which I'm currently reading and reviewing the Yu-Gi-Oh manga. the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga, and in one of the chapters they talk about how dating is strictly prohibited at Domino High School. So it's interesting that comes back here. Now, we haven't heard anything about that with UA, but we've also never... we haven't really seen anyone in a relationship, like the closest we get is just the crush between Deku and Uraraka, but nobody else really dates, So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, just an interesting rule. And then they make a slide. Yay, they make a slide. Bakugo doesn't exactly contribute to it, but it all works out, so they use Yawarashi and Todoroki create the slide. Kami creates the Aurora Borealis, and then it's just this nice little ride. I really like that. It's like, look, it's not just about power. Look at what we can do with our quirks. So that was really, really cool. And I like how they say, we got to put them on the right path. Let me look at that again.
Sure, line up. All we gotta do is show these brats how impressive we are. Cause come on, lose to someone you look down on and you feel like crap. That's not the way we're gonna win their hearts or whatever. We have to set them on the right path.
I love Bakugo being smart.
Otherwise, they'll end up causing problems later on, the same way I did during the provisional exam. I don't want them to go down that same path.
Yeah. If we can't broaden their horizons, then what's the point? We'd make bad heroes.
I like that. And that is... They are being heroes. And you know what? You know fucking what? Does this not go back to Nana Shimura and her philosophy about smiling? It's so interesting. I don't know, like, it almost seems strange. It's like, it starts with her. Because it's like, you think someone else would have fucking figured that out sooner, but I don't know. Maybe before her, it was like One Punch Man. It's just, here's some fucking heroes fighting shit, whatever. She was the first person to fucking smile. But that's exactly it. It's like, look, it's because it's not just you have to smile, but you have to make them feel good. You have to reassure them, That was her whole philosophy, and look how it has eked into the lives of other heroes, even if they've never known about her. That has bled into society from All Might, who learned it from her. Like, if anything, that all stems from her. And that's the thing. It's not just, we have to smile. It's also, they need to smile. And they made those damn kids smile. They followed the philosophy of our great lady Nana Shimura. Oh my gosh. So yeah, they set them down the right path, that's what it means to be a hero. And I like Bakugo is the first one to say that, like, look, we can't just curb stomp them. Even though I wanted to watch them curb stomp them. We can't just do that because it's just going to demoralize them. But we need to show them what it really means to be a hero, So I really like that. And I also love what Bakugo says to the kid, the leader.
You two, get in there and have some fun.
Have some fun!
Get your hands off of me! You think I'm impressed by this?
You're their leader, aren't you, kid? If you keep looking down on everyone else, you'll never be able to see your own weaknesses.
If you look down on everyone else, you won't be able to see your own weaknesses. And who knows that lesson better than Katsuki fucking Bakugo? That is a lesson he had to learn the fucking hard way. And so he is now imparting... And I like how he says that. Just some wisdom from your elders. From one of your elders. Like, yeah, he had to go through that lesson. And he is now imparting it onto this kid. Really, it really does show... This episode basically shows 100% Bakugo's character growth. I mean, all of them, honestly. Bakugos, Todorokis, Yawarishis, all of it. It shows all of their character growth over the series, and I fucking love it. Let's see. We're also going to be doing some joint teamwork, joint exercises and stuff with Shiketsu. What was it? Oh yeah, it was the Extendo hair guy. He was the first one who was like, I would like to set up good relations between Shiketsu and UA because they are the top two schools. So I like that idea of, I do like that, having them work together, even if just to share information. Because there was a good point I didn't even think about, that this is the first time the League of Villains has targeted a different school other than UA. So now they have to, be more united. So I like that. We also got a great moment with Endeavor. Again, character growth for Endeavor, man. When we weren't looking, the man had character development. So I like that. It was like, I'm proud of you, son. And I'm going to try to be someone that you can be proud of. Not just as a hero, but the man that you call father. Like, oh, I'm fucking ready for this. It's time for Endeavor to atone and, get good, basically. And I like Yawarishi even going up and be like, I'm rooting for you, sir. Did the dog get up? The dog might have gotten up. God damn it. I better go get him. Alrighty, so what an incredible first half of the episode. And then, and that keeps going with the funeral of Sir Night-Eye, R.I.P. Man, that's just, that's so rough, man. The work studies are going to be on hold for now, for a little while, which kind of sucks. I hope we get back to it, but it'll be on hold. With Centipeder also taking over the Night-Eye agency, which is pretty interesting. And they eagerly await for Togata to return to the agency. Didn't say anything about Midoriya returning now. That's fine. It makes sense. They barely knew Midoriya, And we got an update. Eri has recovered from her fever, but she is still kind of being kept in quarantine because of her quirk. But they do have a little bit of headway with it, that part of it has to do with her horn. Her horn grows as she uses her power and then shrinks when it turns off. So maybe that's a lead they can work on how to control her power, So. And then the episode just took a left turn at Albuquerque. Where we got Aoyama with cheese. And then he was sneaking on a total, red herring. You almost think, oh, shit, maybe he's the leak. He's the leak to the League of Villains. And it's no. And then it's I know. And it's oh, shit, what does he know? And it's is it about Uraraka? That the two of them are, in love and stuff? And then it's no. It's because he knows that, he understands that Midoriya's body can't handle his quirk. And so he's basically trying to reassure him. And then that's that. and then that's how they became friends. It really felt like filler. You can go ahead and tell me if that's not filler. I'd be impressed if that wasn't filler, but that fucking felt like filler. That felt like they needed to keep... They needed, 5 or 7 more minutes in the episode and just had to do that. So, yeah, that's how Midoriya and Aoyama became friends. So, yeah, that was basically it. Really, really great episode with some great stuff and some dumb shit at the end. No, I mean, the heart-to-heart was still actually pretty cool. Like, I like the heart-to-heart, but still kind of random. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we did not get the curb stomp I wanted, but that's okay. I also like that moment where Bakugo's like, oh, have you gotten any better? Come on. You said you were going to get better than me and be number one, huh? It's like, all right, they're fucking rivals now. I'm so happy for that. Yeah. I love where we are in MHA right now. So I'm sure shit's going to go down at some point. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Sorry if that was super loud. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure to hit the notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.